It's Good evening and welcome to Jackal Garage. I'm your host Mike, and with me is the old man himself, Jeff.
That's
What's,
me.
what's happening, buddy?
Not much, man. Working on cars.
Work? It can be addictive, can it?
It can. It's actually a lot of fun. I'm actually kind of glad you sent me the care package because I, quite frankly, would have probably rancid vomit evening.
Who is that?
I don't know, but welcome.
Well, I love your name.
Uh, I
Steve's here.
Hey Steve, I probably would not have been as quick to get into converting Hot Wheels had you not sent me that care package. Or evening, Adam.
Even, yes, that was a nice care package.
It was great. It got me going, and so now I'm kind of in this revolving door of projects because so many hours a day I work on my commission work, and then I either switch over to Hot Wheels or I switch over to my personal projects, or because I'm showing them on the show. So my days have become this revolving, you know, more ago.
We figured out who Rancid Vomit is.
Oh, sorry, I was logged into my other account. Okay, great. Well, rancid vomit's not a bad thing, I think.
That's his YouTube account. So this actually streams to YouTube. So he must have clicked on it to the YouTube instead of Facebook.
He's basically that's his tauntaun. If you're into tauntaun, watch rancid vomit. I thought these things were bad on the outside. Okay.
So you've been busily working on cars. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what you created. Hey, Cecil here. What's up, buddy? I'm excited to see what you've created. Tonight, though, I've got a few things we're going to work on,
Cool.
project wise. But the
Okay.
big thing we're going to do is we're going to mock up the Erkenstein because it's get it ready for paint.
Right.
So I want to add the weapons on and kind of show the raw form of the car,
Okay.
and then I'm going to start working on the armored car.
Okay.
And depending on how much time we have, I have a performance car that I've been in. It's been one of those projects that's been sitting in a bucket, and it's like I pulled it out and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get this thing done. So I have a
Well, it's nice you're working on the Erikenstein because I've got some pictures of my finished version,
oh yes,
so they can see what changes I made to mine.
right,
You're working on that one. I got some pictures from one of our viewers, Tim,
beautiful.
of his Humvees, and then I have a special gift. Well, it's
Oh,
not a gift, but it's a special thing.
okay.
You saw already. I showed you before the show.
Oh yes, I am here to play. Oh, Steve's here. Neither of those. Hey, someone's already used that line, Steve.
Yeah, I think someone does that every time.
Well, let's.
He changed it. He said I have neither one of those things.
Okay.
You want to show the pics first?
Yeah, let's jump into the pictures. It's always fun to look at what other people are creating.
Let me get everything sorted out here.
And again, you guys, anytime if you're working on cars, feel free to share them with us through the Facebook page, and we'll be more than happy to show them on the show because we love to see what people are doing. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So what do we got here?
These are the Humvees that Tim did over the weekend. They look really good. I like those. I like the turrets. I like what he's done there.
Yeah, these are newer models. They're not new cars, but they re-released them in 2020.
Right.
I like how he put the little. He's either doing those as smokes in the back or oil slicks in the back.
Right.
Those are cool. Then he put the turret ring on, and
Yeah.
looks like he's got a ram going on in the front too.
Yeah, they got blades in the front of both. They look like they're miniguns, which is really cool.
I love it. And the thing that's cool about a Hummer or a Humvee is you can run it as a car, a truck, a heavy car because they're armored vehicles, but they're also a civilian vehicle.
Well, I have a question.
Sure.
Now, did he put the turrets on the front, or the model come that way?
No, the model does not come with turrets.
All right, because the Humvees do have a turret available in the actual vehicle.
Yeah, Hot Wheels just that's the thing. It's weird. It looks like a military Humvee,
right?
But it's more of a civilian Humvee. So So yeah, but it looks cool, and that's what's cool about that vehicle is it fits a lot of different build slots that you can put in your car. So I love it.
All right. Well, and then here's what I've been working on.
Dun dun! Look at that.
That is my take on the Erikenstein.
I love it. The
I
dude in the front engine compartment is awesome.
and then that the engine the I got the engine back here with a big blower stack, the exhaust on the side, and then I've got my transmission and oil cooler intake right there. Driver, it was a nice. I wanted to do something differently than what most people have done. So when you actually
Sure.
start working on yours, they can see, um, they can see what I did.
Yeah. So you ended up cutting out the bars in the back of the vehicle
Yeah,
and popped the engine in there.
and I cut the engine off the front, moved it to the back, which was actually a little easier than I expected. I added some plastic sheet in here to kind of cover that up, and then I built the entire interior compartment and mounted the water cooled machine guns on the front of it.
That is just awesome. And then you put some pipes coming out the back.
Pipes coming out the back.
I
All
love
that
it.
was, and everything in there was from that care package you sent me. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah,
And
that Implements of Carnage weapons pack is such a great bargain.
I just love how it came out. I love it so much. I did this.
Uh-oh.
I just had to do it as soon as I find what I'm looking for here.
Uh-oh. Got a little music. This is such a beautiful car, man. Awesome. Well, you did a fantastic.
That was the factory video for anyone that would order one.
How much are they on sale for? Like $19.99?
Yeah. And because it's a big block motor and it's been bored out, I named it the Grape Ape.
Grape
So,
Ape. I love it.
It runs and shoots like a grape ape.
Matthew's joined us. Good morning, Matt. Or
He said
Matt.
he finished this week's car.
Sweet.
Woo!
Yeah, I saw he was working on. Well, I'll let him share a photo with us, and we'll show it on the show.
Yeah. We showed his photo that we sent last week, didn't we?
Yeah, he did his. So see, what's neat about this is Tim, Matt, yourself, and I have all worked on Erikensteins, and all of us had a different vision for that car and created something different. And we were talking before the show. If we were all painting a Space Marine army, yeah, they may be different colors, different loadouts, but they'll be similar. There's going to be a base color, some washes, and a lot of things.
One of us did some seriously heavy conversion. They're all going to look roughly the same.
Right, but for the most part, oh, Matt, you can't share photos with.
You can't send it pics? That's depressing.
That's depressing. You can send them to us through Messenger, Matt. Anyways, but we've all come up with something completely different for vehicles.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like about this hobby is no one, we can all have something completely different. So, sweet.
Well, I've got my second car. I'm down to doing detail work on it. So while you're doing your thing, I'll just sit and work on other ones.
Just sit and work. Well, I guess we'll just kind of jump in. But I do want to show off a car today.
Go right ahead.
I've got a there was a car I've been looking for a long time, and I finally found it, and it's going to complete a series of cars that I have in my collection for a very special, unique Gaslands team that I've been working on. So
Okay.
I'm gonna take full screen here and switch cameras.
Go right ahead, sir.
So I have been on a quest to find the Matchbox banana car. So this is just a crazy, crazy car. And my vision for this is I actually have the Oscar Mayer hot dog car.
Right.
And I also have the Hot Wheels donut car.
Right.
and I'm going to make a food themed team. So they're going to be called the Foodies, and they're just going to be, I'm going to, like with the banana car, my vision is to put some oil slicks coming out the back because of banana, when
Right.
people slip on the banana peel. And then I'll just drill out the front and put like a machine gun barrel there, and that'll be it. I'm not gonna get too crazy with them, but it is gonna be it. And the Oscar Mayer Wiener car is gonna have like a flamethrower, and then the donut car is gonna have a minigun on it.
Right.
And it's just gonna be a fun team. But this is one of the things that gets me in a lot of trouble with this game is I go out and I find something that's like, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna build this team, and then I buy all this stuff up, and I got like 20 teams that I've been building.
Raymond has a question. He says, "Is Gasland's a game where you can use multiple cars?"
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
It's just like any other game that you play. Um, you decide on a point value. We call it cans, like gas cans,
All right.
in the Gaslands build option. And so let's say we do a 50 can list. So you can build as many cars as you can make fit within a 50 can list. So if you do a bunch of like if you put a motorcycle and a buggy and a couple cars, you could have 4 vehicles on the table.
Sweet.
Now, cheaper vehicles don't last long on the table. They have a tendency to blow up real quick. So, but yeah, so this was I was very excited to find this car because now I can complete that team and add it to the pile of other teams that I'm building. So,
Nah, that sounds awesome.
yeah, well, again, yes, I like, I'm a serious person, but every once in a while you just got to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, back in the box it goes for right now, and then I don't know, maybe in a month I'll get around to finishing up this project. So, and I have a bunch of other projects sitting on the table. So, before I jump into the Erikenstein, I kind of want to talk about decals,
Okay.
because you had a fabulous training class on Thursday night. Was the Academy, the IOG Academy.
Well, if you notice, I'm not there anymore.
What do you mean?
You can't see me.
Oh, hey, I should share a screen.
You're still full screen, dude. I was like,
And I'm just looking down. Hey, David. And I'm just looking down at the 2 little thumbnails of us. And
yeah.
I'm actually talking to you there. Anyways, you had a fabulous.
I picked my nose and stuff, so I didn't have to worry about it.
You had a fabulous class on decals.
I thought it went well.
I thought it was awesome. And so what I'm working on now is creating custom decals. And it's really not hard to do, but it does require a little bit of effort on your part to create such decals.
And there's a bit of a learning curve. Yeah.
Learning how to run decal sheets through your printer is the learning curve I'm stuck with right now.
Right.
Because I keep printing them out wrong. I can't seem to get them to go basically landscape because I was using A5 paper.
Right.
And I think it's just a setting. I've got to change some things around. So
Well, but once you actually figure it out, it kind of opens. It's like having a 3D printer of sorts.
yes,
Because it gives you a lot of freedom to do a lot of different things.
and I'm just doing some. I only have a black and white printer,
Right.
or black printer. I started looking at other printers today, like printers that print with white ink. They're really expensive.
They are really expensive.
So,
And if they're inkjet or something like that, the cartridges are even more expensive.
more expensive. Yes. So let me show you what I did. So let me switch
see.
around. Let me switch around here.
Go right ahead.
This is what I do a lot of.
Why don't you go ahead and take full screen
I
because
am.
we need some detail.
All right, so we're talking about custom decals here, and these are some sheets that I printed up. These decal sheets come from testers, and you can you buy a pack of them, and there's a white one, and on the back will tell you you're using an inkjet printer, and this one tells you it's white. So this is all white paper, and then these are clear. So this would be a typical decal sheet that water slide that you're used to working with.
Right.
As you can tell, my printing issue is I'm not printing long ways like this. I'm printing So it's cut it all off. So these images are just simple JPEGs for that we've collected over the years of doing our shows and stuff,
Right.
and I did some different sizes. And then once you print them with an inkjet printer, it has to be an inkjet printer.
Right.
Then you take the decal bond spray and you spray the sheet. You just take it outside, you spray it. I think this is just dull coat. I don't think there's anything special about it, but you know,
I don't know. I'd have to look at the ingredients on the back.
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
anyways, you just spray it down, and that will adhere the ink to the sheet.
Right.
So that way, when you dip it in the water, the ink doesn't run away.
Right.
And that's kind of what happens. So I did some samples. Let me zoom in. So I just kind of did these to see how things would go, especially after taking your class.
Right.
I used the micro set, so they're all in the ridges and stuff. But this is how a white decal turns out. So as you can tell, if you're going to do anything with the white decal sheet, you're probably going to want to do some sort of shape, like a square or a circle, so that you can cut it out.
Or you could trim around the edges of that
Yes.
with a pair of scissors.
Really, really carefully.
Right.
But you know, you could do that, or a real sharp X-Acto blade, and just trim it.
Well,
It's just, but
well,
your image is. Go ahead.
Here's my take. If you're going to take the effort to make your own custom decals,
Right.
it's not that much more effort to trim a white decal out like that if
Nope.
you wanted to. But it's going to be a bit of work, and that size, it's going to be a little tedious.
Yes.
But yeah.
And then the clear one, as you can tell, the color of the car is showing through on the skull.
Right.
So this would be one of those where I could paint the background like white or gray or something like that, put the decal down, and then go back and paint around the skull,
Right.
so that I'm getting that color, or just not worry about it and just put it on a light colored car so that it stands out.
There's a bit of a cheat that I can tell you how to do, how you can paint the underneath it and know where to paint.
What's that?
Is if you have extra decals and you're printing your own,
Yeah, I've got a few.
take one, and while it's in the water, pull it off the paper,
Mm-hmm.
but leave it in the water.
Okay.
And then literally just get tweezers and pick it up out of the water and kind of let it dry like they do photos, the actual photos and stuff, to let it dry.
Uh-huh.
And then you can lay that after it's dry, so there's no water on it, there's no adhesive on it. Lay that down on where you want to paint, and you can actually then take a pencil or a marker and mark out the exterior of it.
Mm-hmm.
Pull it off, and then paint whatever color you want the transparent to be within that line,
And
and then
lay
put
it
the
back
decal
down.
on.
Yeah, that is a good cheat.
Yeah.
I like that. But just so if you go out and do this, that's one of the things you got to think about if you're going to make your own. And then I did this one on the blue. And again, a black decal on a dark blue is kind of hard to see anyways.
Right.
But you can see as the light's going across it. Now, one of the things I did notice is there's a little bit of a rough texture to this, and I think that has to do with the sealant,
The spray.
the
Yeah.
spray, and using the microsol and microset, because those are, you know, they soften the decal, and I wonder if they cause, because these decals, remember how you talked about them wrinkling?
Right.
These decals wrinkle like a grape. And I'm just wondering if it's causing some sort of
Well, microsol and microset normally do that. You know what I know, because on any decal.
right.
I mean, what I normally do is when they dry, I just keep applying microsol to it and keep using that technique I showed on the class.
Yep.
And those wrinkles should eventually go away. I wish I had a sheet of those so I could play around with it.
The wrinkles are gone, but there's still just a little bit of a rough texture, and I'm wondering if that's the clear coat.
That could, yeah, could
And
be.
I didn't clear coat back over this because this vehicle I want to do some work to, and I just put some decals on it.
Right.
But you can create your own decals, and it's not hard to do. I don't own a colored printer, so I only own a black and white or black printer. So I'm kind of limited in how creative I can be with my decals. But obviously, all of our logos are black,
Right.
so everything that we do is just done in black. So on the Erikenstein, I'm going to be putting some of the IOG logos on it,
Right.
which are solid black. So I don't think that's going to be a problem at all.
Right.
But then when I was just messing around with my printer, I was in the shapes section, and I just found random shapes that they have available that I thought would be perfect for Gaslands.
Oh yeah.
Obviously just a cool skull, an ace of spades because Lemmy rules. You got a little, you got the biohazard, the nuclear hazard. I found a spider. But so you could just go through your computer. You probably already have some shapes and designs inside your computer,
Right.
just under the normal settings. And you can just go ahead and create some stuff. And you can get these, I think, Darren still sells these, right?
Well, we had them for a long time, and they never moved. So
Okay.
I don't think they're there anymore.
Well, then.
And I just couldn't get people to give them a try because I think it was kind of intimidating.
It is a little intimidating if I'm like, oh, you gotta have a graphics design degree. No, you don't. You just need to find some shapes and designs, print them up, and you're good to go.
JPEGs work just fine.
Yes. And then as far as the Erikenstein, so last week we did a lot of customization on this car,
Right.
and we got it to a certain point, and I want to kind of show where we got it to. So this is what we got done last week. I cleaned up the sunroof, got all that cleaned up. I shortened the axle. I picked up some of these this week. So I can cut axles better.
They come in really handy.
Yes. So I got that. The axle's still not glued down. So it still needs to be glued down. And then I've got the person all set and ready to go inside. I figured out how I trimmed up the legs a little bit, the feet, so that it could just pop right down. So the next thing to talk about is the gun. Right. And I decided to do the same thing. I'm going to go with the air-cooled or the water-cooled guns.
Right.
Now, the thing that I have to decide on, though, is how do I want the guns on the top of the car with the person inside? And it's got my big old hands in the way.
Right.
But do I want them in the back like that? And I felt that made the guns go too far forward. So what I decided I was going to do is have his hands on top of the back of the guns just like this.
Right.
And that's kind of where I'm going to go with that.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, so let me tack it together because that's one of the joys of using tack.
Silly tack.
Poster tack. I have poster tack. What do you use?
Blue tack. Same thing.
Same thing?
Yep, same thing.
So let me put a little back here. So this is good stuff when you're just trying to mock up cars like you were doing.
Right.
Just you just put the stuff inside you put it on the scoop, didn't you? You had it on the.
Yeah, I done the scoop. I put it. I had it holding the wheels in place, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It just lets me mock it up to make sure that I'm not crazy in my design.
So this just puts my car, holds everything together so things aren't flopping all over the place. And then let me put a little piece up front for the gun. Because I might even use that just to hold it in place while I glue it.
I really love those guns. They look awesome.
Yeah. Well, and they're World War I guns.
Yep.
So I guess with his hands being on the top like that, it still kind of works because the trigger would have been a squeeze trigger, a mechanical trigger. It wouldn't have been anything electronic. So that's
the other thing is everything in this game is, dystopian, so it can be modified to fit whatever need they want. So
yeah. Let me try that again. The gun barrel decided to fall off. So I just want to size it up, make sure everything's good and straight. And that's what I'm looking at.
That looks awesome.
So basically, I'm just going to glue that gun down. And then during the week, I'll go ahead and get it painted. I'll get it all primed up and painted.
Right.
And then next week, did you see the front window?
Yeah. I remember you put that cage on the front of it.
Yeah. I got those all squared up. So, and that's my Erikenstein. So I'll get it painted. I'll get the doors decaled during the week. And then next week we'll come in and we'll do some weathering. So I'll do some washes and some weathering, do a little chipping, do some of the detail stuff. I'll paint the little dude up, and we'll be good to go.
My stuff is all showroom.
Your stuff is all showroom?
All showroom clean. Mine all come from some guy's car dealership.
So that's pretty much done. So I'll go ahead and get that gun glued on tonight. You want to show everybody what you're working on?
Sure.
Jonathan joined us.
I was just stupid sticky tacking it together, blue tacking it together.
Good evening, Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan. My mouse is eluding me. There it is.
And I'll give you full screen.
So I am. My second car is the Mod Rod.
The Mod Rod,
which is very cool. It's a straight six, is what I'm noticing in it.
Yep.
And so I picked that as my second, and I spent today. I haven't put the wheels on it yet, but that's where I'm at so far.
Sweet.
So I
big old scoop on the front of it.
Yep, and I decided even before I bought the paint, I was going to do my team as a all uniformed one color.
Okay.
So I got all the chrome off this, and I wanted to leave this chrome, but that didn't work out. The fumes of the purple powder got to it. So then I cut the valve stacks off of this, and I'm adding this big scoop. I'll pin that in place. I cut the sunroof, moonroof, whatever you want to call that, because I'm going to mount. Basically, I haven't popped out the turret ring, but I'm going to put a turret ring here on the side with the guy coming up from down here, and probably just the big twin 50 cals. And he's going to be kind of off center in the passenger side. I don't have a driver here. And then I was going to mount something back here, but I figured, especially now that I know you told me the rules on having a 360-degree firing arc and the cost of the weapon, I doubt I put anything back here. But that is my second car in the plum crazy line of vehicles.
Well, what you can do for the turret is you can still put the turret on and keep the 360 look.
Right.
But when you purchase the weapon, just purchase it as a forward firing gun. But if you ever build a bigger team and you have some extra points, you may consider making it the turret mounted.
No, that's true.
So don't ever limit yourself. You can always just say, hey, this gun just points forward. So Jonathan wanted to know, did your scalpel fall on the weed whacker? I don't know what that means.
I have no idea.
And hey, Lenny, how you doing, buddy? It looks like he's found a use for Adam's hundreds of Hot Wheels. So.
Is he talking about me getting a haircut? But I got this done 2 weeks ago. Really, that's the only thing.
He's a little behind the time.
He doesn't pay attention. He just doesn't. He just, That's why I love him. So I'm going to put this whole thing together with sticky tack so I can actually see the whole thing, and then decide on if I want to put a weapon coming out the back.
I think I'm going to do one other thing to this car, and it's something we kind of talked about a little bit.
Right.
So I glued the weapons on. That was pretty simple.
Right.
But the exhaust pipe right here,
yeah,
I think I'm going to get rid of those. And
okay.
I think I'm going to create my own exhaust pipes just using a simple plastic styrene tube.
Right.
And I think I might add them out like this, have them coming out at an angle.
Well, in the sprue you sent me, they have, if you're going to go something that big, there's a shielded exhaust pipe on that sprue.
Yes, there is.
That might look cool. Not that I think that's a bad way. I'm just learning all the different things that sprue has, and I noticed that today.
Yeah, I don't have that one on this sprue. I'd have to pull it off a new sprue. But I think that might be too long for what I'm trying to accomplish.
Yeah, well, plus if you've only got one, it kind of ruins the...
Well, I got two, but I think that's too long. It'd be... Because I want it sticking out the side.
Jonathan says he mostly stares at Jeff's hands. Awkward silence. I have no idea what that means.
He stares at your hands a lot.
He confuses me.
I think I'd end up cutting those, and I think I'd lose some of that detail. Because I'm going to keep them about the same length. I'm just going to have them come out the side at an angle.
Right.
just to give the car a little bit more of a look.
I lost. Yeah, I got my hair cut a couple weeks ago, dude. I can't handle my hair when it gets to a certain length because it starts to curl, and I just hate it. So I just grab my clippers and until I can go to a proper barber, I just buzz cut myself.
Buzz cut.
Buzz cut.
So the guns are glued down.
Cool.
So those are working. But I think I'm just going to cut these off. And I think I'll just go flat with the blade. See, because the car itself has this opening right there.
Yep.
For the pipes to be coming out of.
Let me grab mine here, because here's what I did with mine, and I just really never noticed those being
exhaust pipes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
once you pointed out, then I realized it. So, and I just was like, yeah. I think the only thing I want to do to this is I want to put some highlights on these bolts that run along here on this part here, and probably detail up the back a little bit more.
Sure.
But for the most part, that's my boy.
I think it looks great, dude.
And then look at those boys. The plum crazy dudes.
They match.
In their showroom clean.
We have a huge tub of Hot Wheels. If you need any more cars, seriously, I gotta get Adam to watch this and do something with these cars. I think I have my hair the longest it's been. I cut before I decided. Yes, I'm intentionally growing my hair out. But you see where I'm going with that pipe?
Right. Yeah.
So
I think that'll look cool, man.
Just something different.
It will look cool.
Again, it's not hard to do this stuff. Lenny, if once things get back to normal, I'll be more than happy to run you and your son through a demo of Gaslands, and then he can kind of decide what to do with his cars. I'm gonna have to make a mark.
All right. Well, I'm going to zoom in a bit here.
Okay.
And this is the rough mock-up.
That works.
I'm thinking the gun's maybe a bit big.
You think?
It looks a little long.
But they're 50 cals.
Huh?
They're 50 cals.
Yeah, they're huge. I could always go with the harpoon gun too, but the car's not big enough to actually harpoon something.
I'm actually putting the harpoon on the armored car.
Now, the first show you showed a tombstone.
Yes, but that was a 3D printed part.
3D print. Okay, cool.
So,
because I was like that, because I thought that would look good on the back of the Erikenstein, but I didn't have one.
Yeah, no, you could make one.
Yes, it's not beyond my capabilities. I've got to repair my machine gun hands for my guy here. We know the metal gunner you have. Where did that come from?
That is the Implements of Carnage, but that is just their figure pack.
I may have to try to find their Implements of Carnage. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, I think that's what. That's just what North Star Games calls their Gasland stuff.
Okay. Because I'm this turret ring doesn't look big enough to put the guy in it and his arms. I'm going to play around with a couple of different types of weapons here.
All right, so I glued it. That's my exhaust pipe, buddy. Look at that.
There you go.
Think that's going to work?
It'll definitely be interesting.
What David say? On a side note, got my what is that?
Crushing
Crusher?
and primed, ready for October.
Oh, sweet.
Yes,
I'm assuming those are the new um, Beast Grave models he was talking about.
I think so.
All right. So all I did with that is it's just glued onto the platform of the car.
Right.
So when I put this down, it'll fit in between there. The black piece will fit in between there, and then when I put the car body on, it'll look like it's just sticking out the side.
Sounds like a plan to me, buddy.
Yeah. And then I just twisted it, and everything came apart.
I had a problem with my Harvest Grape spray paint orange peeling on me.
Really?
Yeah. It's gotten kind of cold out here, and what I did was I made a mistake. I was busy doing a bunch of different things, and I sprayed it, and then instead of coming immediately back inside, I left it set on the porch it was about 62 degrees, and it caused it to orange peel. I had to wet sand it down and then shoot it again, then bring it back in here, so I didn't have time to cool in it, get in that cold air.
Well, that's not good.
All right, so there's my second set of guns.
Those are still the 50 cals, aren't they?
So yeah, these look. I don't know why. Anytime I see that kind of suppressor on the end of a gun, I think Soviet gun.
Yeah.
I think they're both 50 cal. These are just a lot longer. So I may end up going that route. Dun, dun, dun.
And again, I'm not trying to be precise on this. I am just eyeing this.
Well, I have to tell you, that's one of the things I actually really enjoy about doing this is you can just cut some corners because of the scale.
Yeah.
You know, I do enjoy that aspect to it. I did think about managing putting this dish on the back here.
The dish, the satellite dish?
Yeah.
As like an uplink?
Yes.
Sweet.
It did look like a bullpup on the end of that. But I think it's just for aesthetic purposes, I think it's just a little long.
Voila.
I'm also going to try to see if I can get away without using any arms, because I don't think if I put the arms on this guy, he won't fit in there. Yeah, he's going to be hard pressed. Yeah, it's going to be a hard press to fit in there.
Yeah. All right. So I'll give that super glue some time to dry, then I'll refit everything, but it shouldn't be any problem. And if it is, I've got a knife and a sander. So, but yeah, everything fits. So that's pretty much it. What I'll do is when it all dries is I'll clean up the edges and I'll re-round the holes.
Right.
But I just want my exhaust sticking out the side.
No, I can understand that. And you want it to be a little more prominent.
Yeah, I think the exhaust is important.
I would agree.
So that pretty much wraps up what I have to do with the Ehrenstein tonight. Like, those are my components. I need to glue him onto something so I can paint him. I don't think he's gonna fit on a paint handle.
Right.
So I don't think he's big enough to fit. His little body ain't gonna fit on a paint handle. So what I'll do is I'll just glue him to the end of a magnet, or
right.
Just glue him to the end of a nail. Not the most exciting stuff.
I'm playing around with some other ideas here. One of the things I like about this is I can actually just kind of, no, I'm not real sure I like that. Let's see what other looks I got. And I can just use sticky tack to kind of do a quick mock-up. Do a quick mock-up.
Oh, Jonathan has a good idea. Maybe model him with holding one arm up, pointing, and the other one holding a Molotov cocktail.
Sweet.
Now, there are rules for Molotov cocktails, and I was actually going to add those to my armored car.
There you go.
So, all right. So that's all done for right now. So I'll just push this to the side, and we'll come back to that later on in the show. I'm going to take full screen for a sec, bud.
Go right ahead, baby.
My camera keeps shifting. So this is the armored car that I'm going to work on.
Right.
And what my intentions are is, first of all, see how the windows are solid black?
Yep.
That's just the way the car is designed. All they did was put in black plastic. So we're going to cut that out. We're going to replace it with the meshing material that I have.
Right.
And that meshing material, for anybody that wanted to know, is called, it's from Amico. Amico.
It's a transmission place now.
That's what I was thinking, AMCO. But it's this wire foam. I get this at Hobby Lobby.
Right.
And that's what the packaging looks like. And this is aluminum. Sorry, not wire. It's aluminum mesh. And it's used for, you can make scenery and different things. So, how much was it? No price tag. That's weird. I think it was like $10. But anyways, you get a lot. This is enough to last me my life. Like, there's so much in here. So anyways, we're going to replace the windows with the mesh. And where I was going to put the harpoon on this car.
Right.
And the harpoon is right here on the weapon sprue. So, let me move this out of the way. So it's just a little, it looks like a broad tip for like a compound bow or something like that.
Right.
And it's got a little spool, and basically the way this works in the game is you mount it to your car, whichever direction. Mine's going to be forward mounted.
Right.
You shoot a car, and then you start rolling a bunch of dice, and you start dragging the car towards you. And the idea is that you smash into each other. And this is going to be on an armored car, and I'm going to have a front ram on it. So I want to do extra damage to the opponent. So I want to really smash them up. So I'm going to put it, and this has got remember how you were talking about the Humvee?
Right.
This has that bed inside, like the turret's already there.
Right.
So I just need to decide if I want to point it out further and have like a guy back here, or if I just want to put it back there and have it controlled from inside the vehicle. And I'm thinking I'm going to have it controlled inside the vehicle.
Right.
Well, the other thing. Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, the other thing that's cool about this body, and I don't know if you can really see it that well. There's a row of gas cans right here.
Right.
See that?
Yeah.
And they sit right back here on this vehicle. And I wanted to add Molotov cocktails like Jonathan was talking about.
Right.
So one of my other parts cars is this. This is the, I think it's called Chill Mill or something like that.
Right.
But if you take this car apart, you can see right there, it's hard to see on chrome because the light's just flooding it.
Right.
But do you see this detail right here?
Yeah.
It's a 6-pack of bottles.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out, and I'm going to put it on the platform back here. Oops.
Right.
I'm going to cut it out and put it on the platform back here.
Okay.
To make it look like my Molotov cocktails.
Oh, there you go.
I could also use these, but these are a little too big for the back of this vehicle. I think they're too big and they'll take up too much room, but this little detail is the perfect size.
Right.
So that's the goal for this vehicle.
That sounds like a goal to me.
And it's all your fault, Jonathan, for talking about Molotov cocktails. So anyways, this is another one of those parts cars I pick up. This is, I think it's called the Chill Mill or something like that.
Right.
And outside of the fact that it has that little detail in it,
right,
the rest of the car to me is kind of yucky. Like, I don't really care for it too much.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Everybody sees something different in these cars.
Yeah, absolutely.
So someone else may like this design. But for me, I just want that little part. So I guess I need to throw this in the dechromer. Into the purple power. Sorry. And the rest of this is just going to go on my junk spins. There it goes.
I think I've changed direction on this car.
I love it.
Well, the thing is, the turret ring, in my head, the turret ring looks smaller. It didn't look as obtrusive. It's just really, it takes up a lot of the model.
Right.
And I kind of don't want, because I don't want that to happen. But again, just exploring the sprue while you were doing your thing, I discovered, again, twin mounted 50s. And when you said you're going to have it controlled from inside,
Yep.
going back to my old tanker days and the coaxial mounted 50 calibers that is on the turret of the tank I used to run, that is controlled from inside the vehicle. So I'm thinking about going with something like these.
Let me give you full screen because I can't really see them.
Oh,
now those look like Russian guns.
Yeah, but they glue together like that.
Uh-huh.
So they're twin mounted. And I'm just going to put a post in there and mount them to that. And then it says, I'm just going to call them coaxial mounted. Or I can even put a torso in that seat.
Sure.
And then put a driver in, and that gives me
he could just be controlling the handle of the firing mechanism.
Yeah, without having to have him standing up and looking out and
yes,
doing all that stuff. But I like, my fat fingers. I like the look. I like that look because it's not so top heavy on the vehicle. Right. And I'll lower them a bit. But
yeah, I think those have a pretty long stem.
Yeah, but I'm liking how that looks.
Matt thinks they're German, so they could be.
They could very well be German. But I like the looks of them.
Yeah, sweet.
So
Tim has joined us, and he says he missed your car. Do you want to show it again?
You want me to show the surprise or just the pics?
Show the surprise. I think he'll dig the surprise.
I'll take him to the showroom.
Tim, you're in for a treat.
This is the showroom, Tim.
Just let me know.
We're good to go.
Good to go.
Ta-da! The grape ape.
I love that car so much.
Well, it's just the Erikenstein is actually just. It's just like I said. You, Tim, and I have all converted that vehicle because I've got the one that Tim built for me right here, and it's completely different.
Yep.
So
he went with the pipes on the sides and
Yep. No, it's just there's so many different ways that it can go.
Well, and Matt did the same car.
Yeah.
And he did something completely different than all of us.
I think I have Matt's pictures in here. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, Steve, I'm glad we can keep you busy at work. So.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. All right, so I cut the plastic off, so now that the windows are visible, you can actually see through them.
Can I share screen again?
Sure. There you go.
Because there is the Erikenstein that Matt did.
Yeah. I love how he did the barbed wire up front. That's really cool.
Yeah, that is very cool. Very, very cool. It needs a bath, though.
Yes, it needs a little bath, a little rub.
Yep, needs some love. But again, when I saw the pictures and saw what Tim had built for me and what you were going to do, I went, man, I got to really do something different.
Yep.
And I just want to do some little more details on the exterior. But no, I'm not going to weather mine because I have a what I call a cartoon style.
Yes, you're anti-weathering.
I'm anti. Well, it's a mental trauma from my military days. And that's just what I enjoy. So, I mean, I can weather. I have weathered. People have seen me weather, but I just choose not to unless I absolutely have to. Unless it fits what I'm trying to convey in the model, I don't do it. Call me plumb crazy.
You are plumb crazy, but that's for a whole nother episode.
So are my cars. So are my cars.
Your car's plumb great.
Well, no, the team's called
Great
the plumb crazy, and the first car, this car, is called Grape Ape.
Grape Ape, that's it.
Yeah. And I think I'm trying to come up with a ZZ Top theme name for this one.
What was the name of their famous album?
Afterburner.
No, the older one.
Eliminator.
That wasn't that their car?
Well, Eliminator was their first album. Their album that took them really mainstream.
Yeah.
Was Eliminator, and their follow-up was Afterburner.
Yeah, why don't you go with Eliminator?
Ooh, Eliminator.
So here I am. I just got some of the aluminum mesh, and I'm just sizing it up. This car, it's shaped. It's got a little angle going to it, so I'm going to have to copy that angle. So I'm just going real slow and just kind of feeling things out and seeing how I want to cut this. And since this stuff's aluminum, it's not that hard to cut. I'm just using a pair of household scissors and then brushing all the little pieces onto the floor so I can step on them later.
So what was the reason you weathered the one for me, Tim? I'm not getting your point. So I'm dense today. I'm not too bright.
And that's why I weathered the one for you, because
right.
You don't weather cars.
I don't weather cars. Wait, okay, I don't need people to weather for me. I'm very capable. I just make the conscious decision not to because I like my stuff looking like my Saturday morning cartoons.
That's why I can't wait to see you finish your Hellboy.
Hellboy. Ooh, I did a lot of work on Hellboy today.
Yeah, you did.
Well, yeah, so zenithal highlighting. Ooh, I'm Hellboy.
You're fancy. And
I did some zenithal highlighting on my Ben Grimm. Ooh, the thing. So yeah, now my days are filled with many things. I go from painting commissions to working on projects for the shows to working on stuff for Jackal Garage. So I'm just a whirlwind of projects. My desk right now is such a mess.
And I just put in a video surveillance system.
There you go.
All right, so I got the mesh kind of sized up and looks like it's going to fit just fine. And Jonathan's been cleaning mold lines for 3 days. So I just need to trim a little bit more off the bottom of it, but that's okay. Again, I'll just take it real slow. I don't need to rush. I don't need to ruin what I spent all this time making.
I have this desire. I saw Matt's comment.
There's more than one way to skin a Hot Wheel.
Well, here's the thing. I had this idea of, how everybody makes display boards?
Yes.
I literally thought about making my display board a dystopian car dealership where this guy makes custom cars for war.
Mine's gonna be a garage.
It's like well, that's what I'm saying. Mine'd be a dealership. I want to have a little turntable with the cars on it, and all my stuff is pristine. So,
yeah, mine's gonna be a little. So I bought. Where are those? Hold on one second. Gotta go through the 1,000 drawers that I have. Where did I put them? Oh no!
Jonathan is killing himself with painting infantry.
So, just so we're gonna do a little. I'm gonna take full screen, bud.
Go ahead.
M2 cars make these display hoist or lifts.
Yeah.
So I bought some of these and repainted them. I stripped them all down, repainted them. I got some of these metal containers.
Right.
These are just, I don't even know where I got them at Target in the car section, and they just had like micro machine construction cars in them.
Right.
And I just threw the content away. They were like $1.99 a piece, so I bought a couple of them.
Right.
And then Greenlight makes garage accessories. So I have a gas pump, like a workbench, a drill press, an arc welder, air compressor, a crawler. And then they also do the 76, which comes with just a little bit more stuff. This one has a little barrel, a little tool trolley, a floor jack, and then the Bigfoot one, I bought all three of them, has a toolbox. So what I'm going to do is take all these little accessory things,
Right.
and I'm going to build up my garage, and that's going to be what you were just talking about. It's going to be my display board.
Well, you doing a garage is kind of fitting because what are you going to call that garage?
Jackal Garage.
There you go.
So, and now you just need to come up with a name for your dealership.
I could be part of your empire. I could be Jackal Custom Cars.
Ooh.
I'm the showroom for your garage.
Now we're getting creative.
Or we could call it Wolf's Den.
We could.
There's a number with it, but Jackal Custom Cars. There you go.
Or we could just come up with your own, little name for it.
Jeff's
Place.
Jeff's house, a clean car.
What was it for Car Wars? Uncle Adams.
Oh, there you go.
You could call it Uncle Jeff's.
So. I'll think on it for a while.
I think you can come up with something. But I love your idea, dude. Instead of glass windows, you could just have like the screen mesh, like keeping your cars in.
Yep.
So you could get a little carried away with it.
I could go crazy.
Plumb crazy.
There you go. All right. Speaking about torturing yourself with models, I have 30 Tyranid gargoyles I'm waiting to see come into the shop. Can't wait to fight putting those wing menaces together. Lone Wolf Customs.
Ooh, that was a good one.
I'm liking that one.
Lone Wolf Customs. You'll be a one-man wolf pack.
There you go.
Had to make the movie reference.
I can live with that.
All right, so that's basically what it's going to look like. Let me zoom in on it so you guys can see it. The windows are kind of small.
Oh, nice.
But I just put some screen in there. I didn't like the black windows. They just didn't do it for me. Then I must be a TV sponsor finding all you teams.
I think that's what Tim's going to go with for this whole dystopian thing.
Sweet. The other thing I don't like about this car is I don't like this spare tire on the back.
Right.
But I have to cut this detail off as well because the tire is mounted into the detail. And then what I'm going to do is just take a piece of the diamond plating and just put it in here. Just make that solid.
No, that should be cool.
Yeah.
The other thing I don't think anyone understands is what I'm actually giving up to do Jackal Garage and these custom cars.
What's that?
Monday Night Football.
You're not really missing anything.
I don't tell me that. I love football. You don't have to play. I love football.
It's just because it's such a weird season.
But I like sitting here working on cars.
Cars are fun.
Like I said, I I wasn't sure. I probably wouldn't have been able to get out as soon as I, to start working on cars if we had not sent a care package. Of course, now people see the sloppiness of where I work and how I work.
That is true. All right, where's my file?
I got to tell you though, that little saw blade,
The little X-Acto blade one?
yeah, is so handy.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't tell everybody that.
Yeah, well, we talked. I thought I showed him on the show.
But you didn't talk. You didn't. You showed them on the show, but we on the show we were kind of on the fence if they would cut metal.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Just so you guys know, this little saw blade. Remember what I showed Mike? Cut all that out.
Yes, it cuts the metal.
All that metal in that Eric Stein. I cut it all out. That little saw blade. That's why the end of it's all boogered up because I actually bent it once. But it took a little long. It took a while. I mean, I could have done with a cutoff wheel and a Dremel, but that would have been just this big gigantic tool coming out. But this little saw blade works wonders.
Now I need to find some of those.
I've been meaning to go online and try to locate them. I did it once before. I had to pull off my saw blade before I sawed into my decal or my sticker. That's why I pulled it out. There we go. So, because the initial one I made of this, I cut too short, and the weapons wouldn't fit on it properly. Well, I don't mind watching real football, or what I call European football. I do enjoy watching that as well. That, and even though I know nothing about the game, I do enjoy watching hockey.
I thought but you're going to learn about hockey this year.
I am going to learn about hockey this year. At least that's
All right.
That's
So
on the schedule.
So the piece of diamond plating that's in the Implements of Carnage has
Right.
two sides. You have a diamond plated side,
Right.
which looks like your traditional diamond plate, and then you just have a like textured, riveted side, or however you want to call that. So you have two different sides. So it's not diamond plating on both sides.
Nice.
Just a tidbit of information for y'all.
Snippety, snippety.
Wonder. I'm just going to cover the hole. Size it one more time. Measure 3 times. Cut 3 times.
And notice, Jonathan, I didn't use the S word to describe football.
You didn't use the what word?
S word.
What's the S word?
Soccer.
Sacker.
I remember my first trip to the UK. We went over to the sales conference, and we were forced to room with people from other countries.
Which makes sense.
And I got roomed with a guy from Spain that didn't speak English. But he was a big football guy. So every night until 2 a.m, he was watching football from around the world. And I was I was very tired because I got no sleep whatsoever. Because he and several of his friends from Spain were. I did too, but American football down there. And I wasn't half bad. So I'd have like 3 or 4 guys from Spain in my room watching football on our TV, and I'm trying to sleep. So I didn't understand what they were saying. I didn't understand the game at the time. So, it's time for a little compressed air. I got all these dust particles on the model. Now there we go.
What's that?
I get the
Oh
mock
yeah. Here, let me give you full screen so people can see it. There you go.
And then I'll mount the driver and the gunner there. He'll just control it from inside the vehicle.
Yeah.
And now I'll play around with some ideas for the to put weapons on the back. Put weapons on the back.
You could always put drop weapons back there.
Yeah, I thought about actually cutting a notch in this and mounting this in there.
Yeah, the drop weapon.
The drop weapon. So it kind of angles right back from the back window and drops out the back. I'll play around with that a little bit.
That would be cool. That's what I love about this game.
I haven't even played the game yet, so I don't even know if I like the game.
You'll love it.
I love the conversion work, though. Ooh, I could just do that.
What's that?
Let me do a mock-up. I had the weirdest experience today. I go out in front of my apartment to prime everything and seal it. So I go out, and my neighbor, that's catty corner from my place, is outside painting a Lexan body for RC car. And we end up in this hobby conversation where I've painted probably 300 RC car bodies years ago, back when I was in RC cars and I did custom painting for people.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about painting using Lexan and polycarbonate paint and all that stuff. What do you think of that?
I'll pop you on full screen. Hold on. Perfect. How's it sit? Is it touch the ground or is it good? Perfect.
Yeah. Yes.
Look at that. So you got custom drop weapons now.
Yeah, I just gotta get rid of that little emblem there so it fits a little snugly there because it's actually a perfect fit. It's like a drop weapon, twin guns on the front.
And depending on which drop weapon you take, it might not even take up a build slot.
I'm loving it. Now, once I get all these guys built, because I'm probably going to start with 3 cars, all the same color.
Sure.
Once I get them built, and I do a little bit more, because you know me, I have to write, a little history. Hey, John, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
I got to write. That's why I got to get the game, so I can read a little bit about the background, so I can actually kind of come up with a story for these 3 guys.
Right.
And then I'll decal them, so they can all look. They have kind of a theme going on. I know it's weird, but it's me.
Well, but the background's pretty basic.
Yeah, but
it'll get you in there.
Yeah, all I need to really kind of get the broad strokes of it, and then I can kind of come up with a little bit of a theme there.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to figure out why anybody would be on a motorcycle.
Why would anybody be on a motorcycle?
Yeah, because there's motorcycles on this sprue.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that seems dangerous.
Well, it's speed. So think about a motorcycle as being someone that's going to be more of a nuisance.
Yeah, true. So I will probably have these done by next week because I think that's my theme. What do you guys think? Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. I like it. Matt said, what are you using that for? I don't know what he's asking. Matt,
are you asking me or are you asking Mike?
Yeah. So, but I like it. I like the direction you're going. Oh, maybe he's asking what you're going to use the drop weapon for.
I don't know what my options are. I just know I'm going to put a drop weapon back there.
It can be oil, it can be mines, it can be smoke. So think about any type of drop weapon. You can even drop
now,
gun turrets.
I did have another thought. Rather than doing this, I did think about cutting the back window out and mounting machine guns out the back.
Oh, yeah.
So
if you run it as a car, dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Since you don't have the book yet.
I don't.
Dun, dun, dun. So if you run it as a car, you only get 2 build spots. So on the regular car.
So now do both of these count as, is that 1 or 2?
Well, it depends on how you want to run that. You can just run that as a heavy machine gun, giving you 3d6,
Right.
or you can run it as a minigun, giving you 4d6 because it's just 2 barrels. So
Right.
either way, but either one, they only take up 1 build slot.
And I get 2 in a car.
Yeah, you get 2 in a car.
Okay.
And then if you're looking at the drop weapons, just seeing if you can run it as something else other than a car, that would make sense. Because a performance car, you only get 1 crew member, which would really suck.
How about on a regular car?
A regular car, you get 2 crew members.
Okay.
So basically, the passenger can shoot a weapon and the driver can shoot a weapon.
Okay.
So,
I think the drop weapon's probably the best way to go.
yeah, I think I'm kind of going with you on
Because
that
the
one.
driver can just look in the rearview mirror and just start and just pull a release.
And the drop weapons are additional weapons. So, napalm dropper, oil slick dropper, RC car bomb dropper, sentry gun, and smoke dropper.
I could just drop a napalm.
Napalm does take up 1 build slot.
Okay.
Mine dropper takes up 1 build slot. Oh, you got a glue dropper and a caltrop dropper? What the heck is that?
Caltrips are those things that you throw on the road to flatten tires.
Oh, then you can throw one of those down too.
Yeah, they look like remember the jacks you used to play with?
Oh, yeah.
They're all pointy.
But if you go with smoke dropper, oil slick, RC, or sentry gun, they don't take a build slot.
Oh, okay.
So those are your options.
Oh, cool. Well, I think I'm liking where I'm at with this guy.
Yeah, I agree, man. I like the dropper because it can be whatever you want it to be. You're not really limiting yourself to anything.
Dun dun dun. Yes. Dun 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 dun. And how big are usually your gangs or your
Casual friendly games, 50 points, 50
and
cans.
what's the average car cost?
I usually try to keep my cars around 25 cans a piece, but sometimes I'll do one at 30, one at 20.
Okay. So I just want to do one more so I have some change in variety.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing. Just because you have a team, your team
Yeah,
can have
right,
5
well.
cars on it, but you can do different things. Jonathan loves the RC car bombs. I do too. Believe it or not, I actually have. Hold on one sec. This is considered the world's smallest Hot Wheels. You there, Jeff?
I'm here.
Okay. So I use these as RC car bombs.
Go full screen because I can't see it.
Exactly.
Sweet.
So this thing is about an inch. And this is like a Camaro or a Corvette or something. I don't know. It's so small I can't tell. But it's, believe it or not, it's actually a metal bodied car. And it rolls just like a regular Hot Wheel.
It looks like a GTO to me.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is, and I can't read the printing on the bottom of it. But anyways, yeah, they're called the world's smallest Hot Wheels, and you can find them on all kinds of different sites. But I just use those are my RC car bombs. They got a few different ones, depending on how far you look for them.
That is sweet.
Yeah. All right. Oh, I'm gonna take you off.
Tim says he has a 5 motorcycle gang.
Yes,
that's cool.
It's different. Again, I'm hoping my BFG just kind of blows one of those motorcycles to Kingdom Come and just be fun.
I missed the comment from Tim. He says he's working on his Humvees. Tim, we did show your Humvees off at the beginning of the show.
Yes, and they look awesome.
They do look good. They look very, very good. But yeah, once I get my team created, then I'll start doing the decal work and that kind of thing. So they all kind of like that. I just like uniformity.
No, I agree. Even if it's just a numbering system, like
something.
So I took the wheel off the back plastic and I covered up the opening. So that's going to be kind of like a drop gate,
right?
And then I'm going to put I got the chrome stripping, so I'll get the bottles cut out and put those back there. So now I got to start looking on the harpoon. How do I want to mount my harpoon? That's my next step.
Well, now I just gotta prime all the accessories and do that stuff, and then I'm ready to assemble and start detail painting.
Sweet.
And then after this is done, begin looking at my next car.
Yes. Just so I'll give everyone kind of a rundown of the cars that I'll be working on. So you already know about the Erikenstein. This
Right.
is the armored car. This car is going to be my performance car.
Right.
And this is going to be kind of a sonic weapon. It's one of the special weapon options.
Right.
And it's going to be mounted back there.
Big boombox.
Basically, there's a thumper gun that is basically a stereo.
Right.
So you can do that. So what I need to do for this, though, is I need to cut that metal off.
Right.
Then I've got my mod rod that I'll be working on.
Right.
I'm going to go in a different direction than you, obviously.
Yeah.
But I have some cool plans with that. This car, I'm actually going to keep this car the color that it is. I'm going
Right.
to do a real simple build on it. So this is going to be kind of a special project. But on this car, I'm going to teach you guys how to take all these tampos off without taking the paint off the car.
Ooh.
So that'll be a fun car. This is a special car for Darren. Because Darren likes old
old cars.
Yeah. So I got to clean up the yellowing off that window, and then I'm just going to mount a couple guns in the light area. But I don't want to make this one crazy, and then I'm going to put an Imperial Outpost logo right back here. But that's going to be a special car for Darren. Then I've got this that I'll be working on. So this is yeah. This is a monster Volkswagen bus.
Right.
But what we're going to do with it is we're going to put snow track tires on it.
Oh, okay.
So this is going to be a tracked weapon, a tracked vehicle. So that's kind of the stuff that I got coming down the pipes in the future. Again, it's just, we'll just chip away at it slowly but surely.
Well, I think I found my next car.
Were you digging through the collection?
Yeah, I'm digging through the collection. Ooh. All right.
Be honest with you, I forgot what I sent you, so.
All right. All through high school I drove a 76 Camaro.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have a lot of Camaros and 442s.
Oh yeah.
But I'm actually trying to decide between the 2018, I think it's a Copo Camaro SS.
The black and yeah. Let me give you full screen so people can see it because the glare. Yes.
Or my favorite year Camaro, my 69.
Oh yeah.
Convertible, and because I think my theme for this one, rockets.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you do have rockets.
I do have rockets.
So.
But I'm liking the but I think because of rockets I'm going to go with the hardtop versus a convertible because I don't want a bunch of
What if you took the convertible and you made a different top, like you built a top for it?
Ooh, like a missile rack.
Like a rack, kind of like I've got this roll cage. Like you could do like a roll cage thing, but just put like diamond plating.
Yeah, I could do something with that.
In that roll in between it.
I could.
That could be.
You can do it all back here.
Yeah. That's an option.
That's it. That's it. That's my thing right there.
So this is the harpoon. Let me go full screen so people can see because it's small.
Go full screen.
So this is the harpoon. So what I like about this vehicle is it already has this kind of what would you call that? Nest?
Yeah.
Yes.
Gun emplacement. Yes, something like that.
Gun emplacement. and I can just put the harpoon in, but the tube on the harpoon is causing the gun to sit at an angle.
Right.
So my options is to jack the gun up or heat up the plastic and have that plastic kind of bend down so that it fits better.
Right.
I don't know. Heating it might be a problem. It might just. I could cut that tube off too.
Oh, okay.
What?
I just realized something. I was actually holding the vehicles I was choosing under camera, and I realized you're still full screen.
So I'm sorry. Anyways, that's what I'm up against.
Yeah.
Now you can play with your car.
No, I think that's gonna be my car right there.
Yeah. You know what? I'll just push it in, kind of crush it. That works.
I think this car will look in the same color will look really nicely with these.
So there's my harpoon.
Ooh, that'll be cool.
Yeah. What I'll probably end up doing is just gluing it onto the body.
Right.
And just not have it touch. Nobody will notice that it's not touching the plastic.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep. No, I understand that.
I think that's what we'll do.
Now I'm thinking of how to construct this. Oh, that's going to be cool. I absolutely can do that.
What's that?
The missile rack on the back of this.
Sweet. I'm excited for it, man.
I'm like it. Anyway.
I think I'm just going to glue this on, and I think I'm going to be done for the night.
Well, I've got my mock-up done of what I'm going to do. Ta-da. And I've already got my next car set up, so next week I know I got to get it stripped and start heading that direction. And then I'll get this. So next week, this one should be done and ready for the streets, for the mean streets of Gasland.
The mean tracks.
And I'll have this one to work on, and I can actually take some time and build the actual missile rack.
Actually, you're not going to race your cars. You're going to sell them.
That's true.
You're going to put them in your dealership.
But when I play the game, someone will be playing these cars.
Well, so we got the Erikenstein. It's hard cars. It's hard cars.
Tim says he thinks his next team build will be Michigan.
Michigan, yes.
Oh, it can do something with electrical weapons.
So here's I'll go full so everyone can see.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
So I got to just round out those tubes.
Yep.
But that's, the dude's glued to a nail, so I can't put him on the car anymore.
Right.
But with the guy back there, I think it's going to look really cool.
I agree.
But that's what I wanted those tubes to just kind of make those exhaust pipes just kind of sticking out.
Yeah, no, I like it.
So that's where I'm going with that. And then this is going to be the harpoon. As soon as I get it all put back together. Oh, because I was doing it backwards. So that will be the harpoon gun.
Right.
So I might just build that plastic up a little bit, but I don't know if anyone's really going to see.
Right.
That'll be the harpoon. And then I'll have a ram on the front. And then I'll have Molotov cocktails in the back. So that's what we'll be doing.
Cool.
So next week I'll have this painted up. And we'll have some decals on it. Actually, what I'll do is I'll put the decals on and I'll show everyone how the custom decals go on. So that they can understand how wrinkly they get and they can see it. Because the tester stuff wrinkles really bad.
Yep, it does.
And then I can... and then we'll have that good to go. Oh, turn off those lights. And then we'll get this going, and then I'll start working on my next one, and it'll just be cycling through cars.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah. I'm already now racking my brain on what I got in my parts bin to make that custom rack.
Any kind of... Well, you said you had brass etching diamond plating.
I have that. But I'm going to the framework. I have some interesting stuff for the framework, so I'm going to be playing around with that.
And that's what happens is you see a car, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can do this, and then you just start diving into it.
Does the missile take up one spot, or does the whole rack of missiles take up a spot?
Let me look that up for you, sir, because I don't, off the top of my head, it's been so long since I played. I don't remember all the points off the top of my head. You want to do missiles?
Yeah.
So that's an advanced weapon. So you got rockets. They take up 2 build slots.
Ooh, so I can't do a sports car. Can't call it a sports car.
Well, you could do a car.
Right.
You could, and that would just be you couldn't do a performance car.
Performance car, that's it. Yeah.
But performance cars, like I'm going to do my one as a performance car because the car itself only has 1 seat. So that makes sense to call it a performance car.
Right, absolutely.
But they have some downsides being performance vehicles.
But on now, a rack, basically the missile rack is 2 slots.
It's 2 build slots, yes.
And is it limited on number of shots?
Yes, you have 3 ammo, so you can only fire it 3 times.
Okay.
But it does 6d6.
So I could basically build a rack for 2 slots with 3 missiles on it.
Yes.
Sweet. Don is asking, he doesn't have the rules. Is there a class for smaller gas hauler?
What do you mean smaller gas hauler?
Basically a tanker truck, a small tanker truck. I'm assuming I think Don wants to make he wants to make his car a Molotov cocktail and to run it on the board and just blow it up.
Well, he could do it with a flamethrower. I don't think there's anything that would be specific to that, but you could just run it as a heavy truck,
right?
Or just a truck. If you wanted to consider it a smaller gas tanker, and then just run it with a flamethrower. Now, here's the thing that's cool about guns like that, and flamethrowers also have an ammo rating of 3. When your car blows up, there's a chance the ammo causes more damage because it blows up too.
Blowing up was a joke on my part.
Well, no, cars blow up in the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he says, a small tanker truck.
Yeah, so I would just run it as a heavy truck if you wanted a smaller tanker truck, and just run it as a heavy truck. And I think that'd be fine because that would represent, it'd be a stronger vehicle. Or you can just run it as a truck, but there's nothing specific to a tanker truck.
I think he wants to make a smaller version of the big truck in Death Race.
Oh, yeah.
When the Warden War.
Yeah, just run that as a heavy truck and you'd be good. But you can also build, what we'll do is we'll do a build challenge and we'll build war rigs.
Well, to let you, one of the things that I ran through my head when I was thinking about my first car, my first build for the Erikenstein was to actually build 2 racks on the side and put those motorcycles there that he actually would launch the motorcycles out when they're actually.
You could do that and then run those as motorcycles.
Yeah.
And then they're just, right now they're attached.
Yep.
And then you shoot them out and they just take off from you.
Yep.
It would be a house rule because typically you're not supposed to do that.
Well,
I don't think anybody would argue that.
One of the things I'm up against, I gotta break down the corner book because that's my biggest is knowing what I can and can't do, so kind of curtailing my ideas.
Sure.
But yeah, now I know how many missile racks. So I'm good. We're good to go.
Yeah, and again, you just run it as a regular. You just run it as a missile, and then hope I don't blow you up first.
Thank you for getting me into yet another game.
It's what we do.
And the sad part is, you got me to this game, and I haven't even seen the rule book yet.
And I've already sent you a dozen models.
You sent me 24 cars.
And it wasn't even. I didn't even notice them missing in my collection.
Didn't even make a dent in your collection.
I bought another 75 cars this week.
The last time I checked with Darren Cecil, he said it was out of the books. So I'll call him again tomorrow.
Okay. So.
But I also went and ordered a new wet pallet.
Oh, good. Which one did you get?
I got the Army Painter one.
Okay, you went with the Army Painter.
I kind of like Army Painter and the stuff they got, and Darren did have those in stock, so I bought one and had it mailed to me.
Oh, Cecil's saying they have books at IO.
I checked with Darren. I didn't check today, but I checked Darren last week. They were out of them at the time.
Okay.
I know they carry them, but they were out of them. You saw 4 today. I didn't ask today, so I should have asked. But I will make that call tomorrow.
Yes, and then I can shoot my harpoon at you.
I can't wait for my next trip out to get a game of gas.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be next trip out's gonna be chaos.
Well, the only problem with it is when I do come back out, we're going to be running events on the weekends.
I know.
So we'll have to figure out maybe play on Sunday or something, but I don't know if that'll work for you. We'll figure it out.
I don't mind calling in sick.
Or we can do Friday.
No, either way. We'll figure it out.
Steve, why don't you look real quick, buddy?
Oh, Steve's at the shop looking.
He's at the shop right now.
Oh.
They're back to their normal hours. They're open till 9 tonight.
I know. I love it. It's a sign of hope.
So, well, they're almost back to the normal hours because they're not open till midnight. They're only open till 9.
Well, there's no reason to stay open till midnight.
Yeah, I spoke to Darren at the store today, Steve, so I knew he's back. He actually called me when he got back. He and I chatted for a while.
What's the Great North?
Montana.
Oh, okay.
He meant north.
I got Cecil that airplane for October.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, I posted my picture up on the webpage to show what I'm working on. That big gigantic.
Yeah.
Because I'm crazy, but I did think of something I did not see. I got some really nice work models from Alan with the Girl with the Brush. You know the ones he gave me.
Yeah.
I thought, man, I could have done those, but I kind of like the big thing.
There is a book behind the counter for you, Jeff. I'll put a tag on it and let them know.
Steve, you're my hero.
I don't know. I'm going to drag you into yet another game. Again, that's why it's called What's New with Mike and Jeff.
Absolutely. What game? I don't know. I always kind of pictured. You ever seen remember the buzzards in Jungle Book? What you want to do? I don't know. What you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? That was kind of you and me on Saturdays trying to decide what we're going to play.
It exactly was you and I on Saturdays. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us for yet another episode of Jackal Garage. I got to stop by to say hi to Darren. I have plastic weapon sprue, but Dee says they're on the way. Sweet. I have my moments. Yes, you do, Steve. And we love you for it.
You're still my hero of the hour, buddy.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Wednesday, Wolf Den at 7 o'clock Arizona time, 10 o'clock Eastern time. Darren said he was going to be here for Wednesday's show.
Yep.
And did you find a guest yet?
I think we're going to go just the 3 of us this time.
Just the 3 of us.
Yep, just the 3 of us.
All right. Yeah. All right, everybody.
Unless I get a call from a certain person.
Okay. I know who you're talking about.
I don't want to say his name.
No.
I don't want to get anybody thinking something.
No. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. Wednesday night, Wolf Den, Hobby Hangout. I'll be painting my orc gore grunta things again, and you got your whatever you're working on.
I'll either be working on either my Hellboy or continue working on my Space Wolves. I try to work on my own stuff on the show.
Sweet.
And I'll probably have my orc built show that off and say that's ready to go to kind of keep the momentum going for the Greenskins Oktoberfest.
Yes, I'm excited. All right. Thanks, everybody. Y'all have a great night.
Take care, guys.
Bye.